Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the In the Bullseye podcast. I'm voice of the Bulls, Paul Peck, and excited to be joined by Bulls men's basketball head coach George Halcovage III and the newest yet oldest addition to the University at Buffalo basketball program. He is Turner Battle. He is the new general manager for men's basketball, and this is really exciting. And, George, I want to start with you. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody loves Turner. You can clearly see how well he played enough to have his name on the wall behind us. But I want you to go back and explain to everybody a little bit about the evolution. This is kind of one of the newest revelations in college basketball, the general manager position. I want you to talk a little bit about your thoughts about adding that position, what you've learned from other people who have added it, and then you can certainly talk about why he was the right fit for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, why he's the right fit speaks for itself. You could look right back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you have a legend where you're at who is already Mr. Buffalo, not only in terms of UB,
Mm-hmm.
but also just in general, just such a person that's so respected in the community. To have Turner here, it's just you can't even put a price on how valuable that is to us. And then, honestly, Paul, the position itself that I've learned over time, every school does it a little different. I think it just is to fit whatever the needs are of the program. What are the strengths of the coach or of the person they're bringing in? So I think it's a hybrid role everywhere. However, Turner's experience as a coach, as a former player, you look at everything that he adds value on. I just look at it like I got somebody that I could go to and talk about recruiting. I could go talk to about fundraising, alumni relations with former players, and making sure those guys constantly feel connected to the program. And then also a person that's going to be able to go out and just represent our program at the highest level. All of that is kind of how I think everybody else is doing it. And then I think the way we do things here in our program, and Turner would definitely speak to this as well, is having him be able to be consistently talking to our players more than just basketball, but also be a guy that they could lean on that did it here. That is probably the most valuable thing we have with Turner, because not every person that's a GM at other places can say that. So I'm just so thankful to have him, and I know it's an honor for all of us to welcome him back home.
So, Turner, when you're approached about this, you're certainly, because I know how well you are tuned into the college basketball world, programs are hiring these positions. When it comes your way, hey, we'd like you to be this here, what were your initial reactions, and how do you see this position fitting in?
Well, I was fired up. This is an unbelievable opportunity. I'm appreciative of it, and no better place than here. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears here, and this place I want to see to continue to do great, and that's one of the main reasons is just the excitement and enjoyment, because nobody cares. Like I told Coach this too. I mean, I care about this place so much because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this place.
I don't remember if it was your quote or it might have been Mark Allnuts, but he referred to it as a full circle moment for you to come back. Have you thought a little bit about how lucky, not everybody gets that opportunity, how lucky you are to be in the midst of that?
Well, I'm blessed, because you're right. This doesn't happen a lot somewhere where, I came in as a young man and turned to a man. So this is a surreal moment, and full circle is absolutely correct because of, I never could have dreamed of being here. When we came back here, my family and I never thought I was coming back here. And this is like a dream come true.
Have you sensed that even, he's in his first week of doing this, but you've known Turner since you've been here. Have you sensed that he's walking on cloud nine here a little bit?
I asked him, I think 2 days ago or whatever, we were talking, and, I said, has it sunk in? I think it has, right? It's just a matter of the cloud nine is, I truly believe every time an interaction I've had with Turner that I've spent time with him, that's how you feel about Turner's feelings towards Buffalo itself. And I could have told you that 2 years ago. Just the passion he has for this place, for our program, where he wants it to go and where he sees it going, such aligns with our vision and what we're trying to do, Paul. So I do sense, though, I think every day, I'm sure, when we just did a couple workouts here and Turner was down there courtside watching, I I would say that probably got your juices flowing a little bit.
Well, again, and here's what I think is most interesting. As you said, this position doesn't really have a definition only at every school that wants to do it. But here you're getting a guy that's been a player, a very good player, an assistant coach, has been involved in the recruiting, been involved in the transfer portal throughout his career. How beneficial are those life experiences for you? And then, Turner, you can follow up and talk about how much that's going to help you in this job.
Yeah, when you have somebody that's experienced that you really respect and trust, again, you can't find that everywhere. That also believes in where you're at. So to have Turner be able to be a guy that I could go to and talk to about, hey, how do we do this here at Buffalo? How did you guys do it? And then for us to bounce off like, all right, what is it today and what are our challenges today versus what they were before, right? Because as we know, the world of college athletics and basketball has changed. So that's been so big for us already. And then I think the biggest thing, Paul, that I know Turner is going to be able to do for us is with the world of NIL and revenue share and the house settlement that all just went into place, he's going to be a big part of us taking our program to the next level in terms of how we're going to compete on that front. Because, like, look, I won as many Turner battles on our team as we could find.
Yes,
They cost a lot of money these days.
Don't tell him that because he'll think back in the day when he played.
I would ask her, though, how much would it cost to keep him back when he was going and they were competing for championships his senior year?
I don't think we want to know the answer.
I want to know the value he had. What was his market value then?
What do you think?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but I don't know.
How much, having been in the middle of it for the years that you were a coach, helps prepare you for this job, Turner?
Well, it helps in a way, but it's changed a lot. So I'm leaning on Coach a lot just to kind of figure out what's going on. And he knows that whatever he needs from me, I'm going to do as best I can, give it 100% because I respect what he's doing and I respect the program. And that's what I'm here for, is to try to help do as best we can and get everybody excited about what we got going on in the future.
To overly simplify the position a little bit, George, you touched on it. College basketball coaches now have so many responsibilities beyond the practice and the game plan and the actual basketball part. Turner, do you see yourself picking up a lot of those, taking those off of George's plate so he can focus more on the court?
I think so. I think a lot of people don't realize how much a head coach goes through. I mean, I never was a head coach, but I've seen it, especially now. So I've told him and I've told the administration, I want to take some of those things off his plate so he can concentrate and do what he wants to do and not have to worry about things that I can help take off his, responsibilities.
Is that sometimes the frustrating part of your job, right? You're a basketball coach, and that's what you're really good at, and that's what you want to do. You also understand the job has other requirements. To lessen those and have him take the ball and run with it to let you focus on basketball, does that put a smile on your face?
Yes. I mean, look, you do whatever you need to do to get things done. And the ultimate goal for us is to win games and to hang banners. I mean, that's what everybody's doing here. That's what everybody wants. I mean, I don't not want that. And to have somebody that's going to be able to take the focus away from basketball, like when your focus, gets moved off of basketball, and they can take up some of those things, even though you're going to be involved and still say, hey, give input, we're going to be in constant communication about these things because the alignment still has to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, to be able to not have to worry about, is it getting done? Are we missing on that? Are we following up on, getting a new donor, whatever it may be, following up on making sure that we get all of our former players back because we want to do a great job of that. To be able to have a guy here that everybody just trusts, loves, it's inspiring almost. You know what I mean? To know that he's here doing it because it's going to get done at the highest level and that everybody's going to love spending time with him as well.
If a lot of your job, and it sounds like it will be, Turner, is those things that George talked about, alumni relationship, donor relationship, how easier is it for you because you know a lot of those players, they know you, your name carries. When somebody sees Turner Battle is calling me on the phone, that means something. Do you already get the sense that that's going to make this job a little easier for you?
Well, I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be easy. I mean, but I hope that people share the same passion that we share. And hopefully to get the program where we need to get to in this day in college basketball because it's so new to so many people. A lot of people don't really understand and know what it entails now.
Yeah, we're within a week of the House settlement, right? One of the most dramatic changes in college athletics in our lifetime. Turner, how much are you on a crash course of learning that and all of the other things that are involved? And how much, George, are you trying to help him understand all those non-basketball parts of building a program?
Well, I'll let him follow up on that. I think we're all learning what's going to happen. It's everything's kind of been a moving target in terms of all right, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? What are the rules? We're kind of learning daily. But the thing with the House settlement that I do know that I could get, that he's already, and we've talked, and he's gotten up to speed quickly, is the beauty of it is that when everything comes in-house, we're able to then take care of our guys through the university, which I think cleans up a lot of the indecisiveness that a lot of places face with, well, exactly how does it work? Now we have at least guidance of how it's supposed to work in a system. Obviously, we're going to have to compete in that system, and that's going to be the work we have to put in. So I think that's actually more straightforward now. Before, if you would have came in last year, I'd be like, look, Turner, we're trying to figure this out. Nobody knows what's going on. At least we kind of know the guardrails, right? And I think, from the new age of basketball, I mean, Turner's been involved in it. It's just a matter of, the beauty of it is we were in my office yesterday talking for a while, and to just know now with revenue share, NIL paying players, how you have to think differently about asking them to do everything, and with time demands and time constraints, that's totally different even than when I got the job, right? That just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And how we manage guys if they're, and he had a great point, right? Turner said to me, like, we got to take care of guys, even if they're here 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They got to feel like their experience at Buffalo was amazing, that they still feel that forever a Bull mentality, even if it's here for a year, because this is a new world we're living in college athletics, right? And if we're a part of somebody's journey and they do great here for a year, and our goal is going to be to keep everybody here, right? That's going to take work too, right? So, again, it's more just figuring out together, which I think is the most fun, is that I think we're figuring out together and bouncing things off each other.
Are you on a bit of a crash course on all this stuff right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, once again, I've known a little bit. I'm reading up on it. And I think what Coach was saying before, the biggest thing is that the circle of basketball is small. And how kids are treated now is going to be observed all over the country. So we have to make sure that, like he said before, they leave here with a good taste in their mouth, because it's a revolving door. And you don't want – the worst thing you can have is that you got a bad reputation of how you're being treated. And that kind of goes into the recruiting part and the relationship part. So I think that's important, and I think that everybody's on tune to how it's changed, and that it's no hard feelings anymore. But once again, the goal is to retain kids, but we also know the realistic, version of that happening and not happening.
You have great connections that I have learned about it having worked with you to players that you played with and coached that are still in Western New York, of which it's a pretty good amount. So it's not like you don't stay in touch with a lot of alums, but now that's going to be a big part of your job. How excited are you for that? And have you already gotten maybe some phone calls from some guys you don't always talk about who now want to talk to you about this thing?
Well, that's exciting to me, because I get to talk to guys I haven't talked to in a long time and get to see what their feelings are about the program, and they may have some ideas as well too. So that's exciting to me, and you know me, I'm a people person. I love to talk. I get it from my father. So I really enjoy it. It's exciting. It's not really considered work to me, because I'm talking to people that I may not know, or that I respected when I watched them play, or guys that I've known that I haven't talked to in a while. So that like gets me going. That gets me really excited, gets my juices flowing.
How much have you, because I know you got your team back together essentially for the first time, have you already told the guys on this team who he is and what he's done? And you'll probably have that conversation a lot to make sure that, hey, that guy hanging around with our program, our new GM, right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's pretty easy when you can point up to they all know what those are, right?
Right.
They all know what banners are, right? So it's funny, Ezra McKenna, one of our new guys this year, said after our workout, he said, "Coach, man, we're worried about the name on the front of our jersey, not the back. We're just trying to win a championship and hang a banner." And then now that you said that, made me think of, yeah, I'd love to do that, and I'd love to have a player that gets I would like a back of their jersey name up there at some point too, like his. But no, I had the honor on Sunday night. We brought a lot of our families were still here after our guys moved in, that some haven't met each other yet, and then Turner, Claire, and their kids all came, and all of our families were together over at Wingnuts. And to be able to introduce him not only to our players but to all their parents and say, this guy right here represents everything that I would like as a head coach, but that we want as a program your son to be the best player, the best student, and man they could be while at Buffalo. He exemplifies all that, and to see what he's doing in life after basketball, as a dad, as a man, as a father, all those things, it's just a beautiful thing to be able to say and to be able to have his wife there and kids and feel that. I saw his wife put out a little post that TJ's not like he's got some boys back in his life now because the girls. That stuff just makes it just gets me so excited to be able to have them back in the family.
Now, we can readily provide you with a short Turner Battle highlight reel to show the current players, and I guarantee you the first thing they'll do is laugh at the oversized shorts, won't they?
Oh, man, I had 2XL shorts, the extra long jersey. That was the style, back then, but that's the first thing that anybody, even the pitchers, they were like, man, what size are those shorts? So, yeah, I told them that's comfortable. I don't know what you guys are wearing with those small ones now, but, yeah.
Do you enjoy connecting with some of the names that has already brought to you and is going to continue to bring to you? I think you're a basketball junkie. That's been your life. For you to even learn about some of the players and things that happened 10 or 15 years ago in this program, how much do you enjoy that learning process?
It's the favorite part of the job. I really could say that. And I was fortunate to be at a place for a long time that had some similar values. And you see that culture reigns true today at Villanova. And Turner and I talked about it, actually, this exact point. To be able to bring everybody back into the fold at the level I know we're going to with him, that's the most important thing to me as a head coach, that everybody feels that forever a Bull mentality, that they always feel that they have a home away from home, that they could come back here and feel the memories they had, feel the memories of making baggy short game winners at Niagara. I seen the clip, right, to feel those moments of that when they were an alumni and how they were the first team, his team, to really get this place rocking, and how get them back to field again, that we're going to do it again. It's the most important thing to me as a head coach, Paul, because that's the way you have a program, and we believe in that, and the fact that we have Turner here to be a big, huge part of that now, I just think we're going to take that to the next level.
Have you, you told me you walked around campus a little bit the other day. I don't know the last time that you necessarily did that, but what are the emotions? And I thought the very same thing with Coach Sharkey as well, too. Like, for you to full circle your way back here and walk down the same paths that you walked when you were a kid, and now know that you're here as a man and as part of the program, what kind of emotions have gone through your head about that, Turner?
A lot of memories. I go back to when we graduated. 3 of us, it's 4 of us total, said that, man, we're never coming back here. And the funny thing is, as I'm walking and I'm thinking about, man, we're all here now. And I said, I got to bring those guys back here to see what campus looks like, because it's a lot different than it was. And it's just a surreal moment. That's all I can really say, is because I never in a million years thought that I'd be back in Buffalo right now.
Yeah, well, it's got to be incredible, and I'm sure you'll continue to have those moments you'll see someone, or you'll go somewhere, or something will happen that will jog those memories back, right? Are you prepared for all that?
Yeah, I love to talk. So
I know you do.
That's easy for me. So I love to talk. So those people that, and I will say I'm bad with names. So I get that from my dad as well. So I always try to, if I don't remember.
I taught you how to make a nice spotting chart. Feel free to use that in normal parts of your life, too.
I am going to need that, because I am bad with names, and I apologize in advance. But I love talking to people, and people know how passionate I am about this place, and how passionate I am just to get to. Because one thing I have noticed about this school, even on the academic side, there are a lot of people that worked here when I was in school. So it's a reason why they're still here as well, too.
Yeah, how helpful can just knowing a bit of the DNA of this university and this athletic program that he can provide, how helpful is that for you?
I can't put a price tag on how big it is for us. The thing I'll say is, when myself and Mark and Sean Ferreira, Mark Allnut, and then also this whole idea of bringing Turner back came to a conversation, it was never like, oh, that doesn't make sense, that's not a good idea. It was like, how do we get it done? And then for Mark to be able to then go work and help us get him here, obviously nothing happens on this campus without Dr. Tripathi and all his staff being in on it. For them to do this as quickly as we did, because it wasn't like this happened, like it wasn't in the works a whole year. It happened during, probably became a conversation during, a certain part of our season towards the second half. And for it to get to where it is right now that quickly, it shows the love this whole university has for Turner and the pride they take in, the alumni, right? So to be able to have someone they all love and cherish in him, it's going to really help our program a lot.
If we have this similar conversation on the brink of the start of the season, how much do you think his role will evolve from even as we sit here now?
I think I'm going to give him a hug because he's going to raise a heck of a lot of money, and we're going to be able to feel really good about if we do what we're supposed to this year, we're going to be able to just double down on that, right? But that, and then just I think the greatest thing is going to be just to see what we're going to have a system that we could keep building on, that we're going to do events with our former players, and that we're going to do it for the first time, and that we're going to get our players in here and they're going to feel it. And everything's going to be a first, but then we're going to have a framework of like, oh, we can do that even better. We can make it bigger, but the fact that we're able to do it now is going to be awesome. And it's just going to be awesome to look back, Paul, I think, and say, wow, we already got that much accomplished in this amount of time.
You're, as we mentioned, you're just getting started with your summer workouts. A lot of changes on the roster. I know it's early, but how excited are you about the changes and about the potential for this program moving forward?
I'm fired up. All I can say is I'm fired up because our guys are. When you have a guys in the gym that you don't have to jumpstart, you have a good thing right now. And for our first day today to be what it was in two separate groups with different guys, and to feel not only a connection of the guys out there that only they can do themselves. You could try to build that as a coach, but you got to recruit to that. And for them to go out and do that today, and compete at the level they did, I'm excited. Now we got a lot of work to do, and we're going to have to manage some things because, at the end of the day, when you start putting guys out there and play other teams, the challenge is playing time. But, we're in a really good spot that way, and really excited about, I think Ryan being back as a guy who's put 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears in from day one here. For him to come out the way he did today and set a tone, that's what you want. That's what you want in a program. That's what I want Turner Battle to see of a third-year guy here, because there's not many of those guys left that are third-year guys. And his job's going to be to get some guys that haven't been here to believe in that as fast as possible. And the beauty of it is I think they already all feel that, and now we just got to get to work.
What does that mean to you, Turner, when you hear him say those things that he just said?
Well, I get excited, and what he's saying is right. It's very unique with Ryan being here. And the one thing that I can say in the short amount of time of seeing the guys is that they want to listen and they want to learn. And, this day and age with my own kids, that's a struggle. And that's a good feeling to have. And you have someone who believes in what's going on. And, just from the little bit I saw, Ryan's voice has been a lot louder than even what I saw him as he made a big jump last year. So I'm expecting the same thing for him to get the guys on board.
You did that very same thing from your early years too, didn't you? Again,
I didn't have a choice.
You can tap into that experience, can't you?
Yes.
I'm sure there'll be a conversation between him and Ryan at some point.
Well, I was just saying there already was.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love the most, right? Turner's down there after our workout. Ryan's hanging out near the court, and I see those two talking. And like when you ask what value does he bring, I mean, I can't there's just so many things that are going to happen. That organic interaction is just real. That's what you want in a program. You want a former player to be able to come back and be able to connect to them. And then the fact that he's going to be able to bring guys back that he even played with. I love that. I was told CJ coming back, Massenburg in the summer and playing with our guys, he'll be back. Janathan's been back playing with us already the first 2 years I've been here. So to bring more guys into the fold, to make them all feel connected at the level I know we're going to let our guys feel that, not just with him, but the guys he's going to bring around, it's going to be awesome.
All right. Well, it is awesome. It's awesome to have you back wearing the blue in the shadow of the 11, and it's also awesome to have him be a part of this program. Guys, thank you very much. Enjoy the summer. Can't wait to get things going at the start of the season.
Thanks, Paul. We appreciate it.
George Halcovage III and Turner Battle, the new UB basketball general manager. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the In the Bullseye podcast.